Good evening. It is again my pleasure to welcome you to Evening Star Grange annual community service night, where we are honoring one of our area longtime volunteers and community service persons. Traditionally we keep this as a surprise, but we didn't think we would do that to Art this year, so it is indeed an honor and a pleasure for Evening Star Grange to honor Art Benedict tonight. And before we begin our program, I would like to ask our assistant stewards to open the Bible upon the altar, and if you could all please rise. And now I would like to ask our chaplain, Larry Lynch Sr., to lead us in a prayer.
Let's say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
And we'll do the flag salute and sing our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red flare, the bunkers in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Also this evening, we are honored and very privileged to have Maria from BCTV here, who has graciously agreed to videotape tonight's program. We weren't 100% sure that Art's health was going to allow him to be here tonight, and we were going to have a program and give him a videotape, but it's nice that he was able to be with us, and we still will have a videotape that he will be able to enjoy and show off to anybody that wasn't able to be here this evening. So, at this time, I would like to turn the program over to our lecturer, Carol Lynch, who will take over from here.
First of all, welcome. And Larry took half of my little spiel away when he said that we normally do our community recipient award in August, but last year we voted as the Grange that August was way too busy for us, so we would do it in April. So this year we're honored and happy and pleased to honor, I always cry at these things, I'm sorry, Arthur H. Benedict, also known as Art. I got on the internet and I did a little bit of background on you. Well, it says that you're in your 70s, but that's awesome because that's years of knowledge and having fun. I also found out that he's a Libra. The internet didn't really tell me a whole lot. A Libra, you know, like your zodiac sign.
It's cancer.
Well, internet lies don't go to prove. So, we'll just scratch what I found out about you. It only said that he has lived in West Dummerston and Brattleboro and Monticello, Wisconsin. No, wrong Art. Oh well. I got the wrong person, which is nothing new. Okay. So, we all know that Art has volunteered many of his days, not saying years, through the elementary schools. I only have Putney, Vernon, and Guilford down. Were you a principal at Vernon ever? No?
I didn't even volunteer there.
Listen, that source came from him, but that's okay. But we do know that you volunteered at Bradwell Memorial Hospital. Yeah, so I went through and, because I'm not intelligent enough to come up with anything snazzy, came up with the top 10 reasons you know you're a volunteer. Number 10 is you don't get paid. Number 9, on a regular basis, your significant others look at you and say, another meeting tonight? Really? Number 8, you watch the news and you hear about a war in Iraq. And you have to tell yourself firmly, no, I cannot jump on an airplane and go over there and help them tomorrow. Number 7, friends call you to say things like, we know you'll say yes to anything, so we thought we'd exploit your time and energy just on one more time to serve on the Friends of the Endangered Crawdaddies Committee. So in other words, you don't say no to nothing. Number 6, you have a reoccurring dream in which you are riding naked on a white horse through a medieval town. I didn't write this. Giving out bread and wine to the peasants, and having them cheer you on as you make your way to your next hamlet. Number 5, someone jokes when he's asked to volunteer at his son's school and replied, hey, they already have an office. Har, har, har. And you fight the urge to grab him by the collar and say, so why don't you join the PTA now? And then I'm just going to skip number 4 because that doesn't make much sense. Actually, you're single and you meet a nice man or woman at a bar one night, and he or she asks what you do in your spare time. By the time you come up for air after telling her about all your volunteer activities, you notice that nice person is gone. Because they didn't want to sit there and listen to you. Number 3, you go to your 30th high school reunion and your old friends say, my goodness, you look so young and bright-eyed. It's because you find the kind of fulfillment and that volunteering can bring. And then number 2 is you attend the fabulous volunteer appreciation night. And 1, at night when you go to sleep, in the morning you wake up, you know that in your heart that whatever evils and problems affect the world, you're making it a better place. You are the reason we all can have faith in human spirit. You're very welcome. Other ones that came off a huge, ginormous list, and in no particular order. Volunteers are the love in motion. That author is unknown. Volunteers do not necessarily have the time, they just have the heart. And that was written by Elizabeth Andrews. Volunteers don't get paid, not because they're worthless, it's because they're priceless. And Sherry Anderson wrote that. So I'm going to open up the floor. Usually we have people stand up and roast the recipient, but roasting doesn't sound appropriate. They can tell tales about you and enlighten the rest of us. So if anyone would like to stand up and say say some nice words about Art or to Art from Art, by all means.
Okay, now, Art, does it escape me, or did you hang out in Newfane for a while?
Newfane.
I thought so. Okay, that makes it a grand sweep. You had all three of our grandsons. You had Tyler and Sean and Rodney.
Right.
And I don't know if you know what Rodney's last name is, but it's Rodney Chase. And that's our daughter's son, Rodney. And I know that he was there at Newfane for a while when you were there for a bit of a time. And Tyler and Sean had, especially Sean, you remember Sean? Yes. Tyler's quieter, but sometimes, it depends on what he has to talk about. But anyway, Sean used to come home with more stories about, well, Mr. D's having an awful time with the squirrels. They were just bugging everything over to his house so bad. And then he would always give you a running countdown of the sugar season, I know. He kept you pretty much abreast of that. He knew all about the seasons with the science lesson that the boys learned at our house, at the sugar house. So, do we have that sample for grading?
Yeah, it's somewhere. I don't know.
Well, anyway, we'll show. The boys sent you a maple leaf with some maple syrup in it, but it's not graded because you are the teacher. You do the grading. So they said, oh, we don't like the new grading system anyway. You don't grade on the curve. That's what the boys have to do now. They don't like grading on the curve. So anyway, there is a maple leaf ungraded for you from the Lynch's Slab Hollow Sugar Makers. And you know that each one of those boys had their hand in it one way or the other. And we know you grade very fairly, but they're expecting, a good passing grade. So, A+ will be fine. You can judge for yourself. Although, I'll tell you, the boys screen need the grade B. You know why? Because they say, I always burn the pancakes. So if it's darker, it doesn't show.
Anyone else?
We can elaborate a little bit more on what I think I know that Art has done. One thing that I definitely know that he has done, and it just so happened that today is the day that the BMH put the full-page tribute to all of their volunteers in. So we know that Art was a very faithful volunteer at the hospital, and I know that I speak on behalf of them. I had invited them and thought maybe one or two of them were going to come, but obviously they weren't able to. But I spoke with both Joanne, the head of the volunteers at the hospital, and Jean Stockwell, and they both reiterated how much they enjoyed working with Art. I know especially Jean and Art, I think, worked at least one day together, always volunteering, and I know when I would walk through, they would be either out running around somewhere or sitting in the lounge, visiting, waiting for the next volunteer job to do. And I know that Art is very instrumental and in the Dummerston community chest, making sure that the different organizations from within town and other areas are well taken care of as far as monetary awards and allowances. I know that Margaret and Bob work with Art, and Jan works with Art on that. So they may want to elaborate a little more on that. But I think before we get too much into, we should at least present Art with his award so that he has it. So if the assistant stewards would like to bring Art to the altar, I'll present him with his award, and then we will continue on from that.
the day I run.
Hey, he's already headed, so.
Right here.
He's not waiting for you. That's all.
So Art, it is indeed my pleasure to present you the Subordinate Grange Community Citizen Award, presented with appreciation to Art Benedict in recognition of your outstanding service to this community and mankind. Your dedication and personal involvement are greatly and sincerely acknowledged by the members of Evening Star Grange number 154, given this 13th day of April 2015. Signed myself as Master and Carol Lynch as Lecturer. We extend our personal congratulations and best wishes, also signed by Ed Lutterell, Master of the National Grange, and Jim Teatrell, Lecturer of the National Grange. So on behalf of the members and officers of this Grange, it is indeed my ultimate privilege and honor to present you with this certificate and a little paperweight that you can have to weight some things down. I'll shake your hand first. Congratulations and thank you so much for all that you have done, your many years of dedication and volunteering, and we certainly do appreciate all that you have done.
Thank you.
So,
I appreciate this. Appreciate this very much, and the people I work with on the community chest, and the help I've gotten from Jan, and when she was town clerk, to break me into some of the things I needed to know, and for my service on the school board, and it's been a pleasure. And I'm also honored and thrilled to have two very important people in my life, and that is Ken and Tina Harris, who are my help givers and powers of attorney, and they have been at my elbow since I became ill. Great. Thank you, and thank you all. Thank you.
is there anyone else present that would like to say anything?
Well, I would like to say that Art and his partner have been such a big part of West Dummerston history, and it was always great to see Art buzzing around with his car, with his number plate, AV. You knew exactly who it was, it wasn't even out of a postcard. And you could always count on him volunteer. Thank you, Art.
Thank you. That AV has its disadvantages also.
Oh, yes. You can't hide.
Well, there will be a time for refreshment and fellowship afterwards, so if anybody is bashful to stand up in front of everybody, you can certainly visit with Art one-on-one at the end of the program and express your well wishes and congratulations to him. So now I believe we have a skit to do. And so,
Now you have to use your imagination in any Grange skit. So want to do it on?
let's do it
Well,
so
we
that
can
our
do it
back,
up
we'll do
here.
it like over here so that our back isn't set.
Well, right, but, you know, we have to pretend we have a couch. That this isn't a couch or a sofa. I gotta come to the, okay. Oh, well, wait a minute, well, we're just gonna, in the living room, man is seated on a couch with a phone. Phone rings.
Yes, yes, this is Reverend Brown. How may I help you? Yes, I'll speak at your meeting. What will my subject be? Sex? Did you say I was supposed to speak on sex? Well, I guess I could do that.
Who was that, dear? Who was that, dear?
Oh, it was the ladies' group. They've asked me to speak.
That's nice. What's the subject?
Sailing?
Sailing? That's a little bit out of your line, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I'm sure I can manage.
now about a week later.
Oh, Mrs. Brown, I just had to stop and tell you how much we enjoyed Reverend Brown's talk the other day at our ladies group. He was so well informed.
Gee, funny you would think so. I mean, he's only done it twice. And the first time he threw up, and the second time his hat blew off. Hey, if nothing else, we thought we'd get you to laugh.
What are you going to be doing?
Well, I can pretend.
Oh.
I'm a male, by the way.
I'm awfully lucky.
Why?
I went to a party last night and then played a game where all the ladies had to kiss each of the men, or else give them $1.
Why were you so lucky?
When I got home, I had $15.
Okay, I guess that's enough for right now, Larry.
Let's see. I think there's a very nice school day song in our songbook. And let me see. It is number 72 in this little red or...
I've walked around.
So, we think we should be almost enough to everybody to share. Would you like to come share with me, Margaret, or do you know? So, based on Art's many years of service to school and children, it would be appropriate to sing School Days. 72. You all set? School days, school days, here home and rule days, reading and writing and arithmetic, taught to the tune of a hickory stick. You were my queen in calico, I was your bashful parrot, and you rode on your sleigh, my sleigh, I love you so. When we were a couple of kids,
We really should not sing.
okay.
Art, we love you more than our singing.
So it would be appropriate to acknowledge our past community service recipients that are with us this evening. And I traditionally always forget one that's here, but we'll see how well I do tonight. We'll start on that side of the room. We have Jean Momaney. And next to her is Susan Miller. And then coming back around here, before Sally Mae got inducted into the Grange, she was the recipient. And the same for my dad, Larry Lynch Sr. He was on the stage. Did I remember everybody that's here? Anybody that I forgot, Sally?
No, I think we got them all.
Okay, well, that's good. Unless anybody has anything else that they would like to say or add, I don't have anything else other than the fact that I'm sorry that more people weren't here, but I know that everybody has good intentions and well wishes to Art. Jean, like I said, from the hospital was very excited. I made the announcement at our senior lunch on last Wednesday. Before Art became ill, he was a very regular at our senior lunches and always sat with the Vernon group at their table, usually when there was room, and they were very excited and felt that it was a very honored and valid recipient. I know Rita Lashway was one that was really excited. Sally said that Vernon had a senior lunch today, and they mentioned it at their luncheon today that you were going to be receiving the award. When I walked into the town office last week and made the mention, Pam McFadden's first reaction was how wonderful. And, so know, Art, that everybody is very appreciative of all that you have done and hopefully continue to do, and we all wish you well, and it's really very glad that you were able to be with us tonight and enjoy the rest of your evening. So if there's nothing else, I would ask that you please rise and the assistant stewards close the Bible on the altar, and then we will have some refreshment. That concludes our program, and we have a table full of refreshments there, so if you give us a couple of seconds to get them ready. And again, thanks to BCTV for taping, and everyone for coming out and attending, and hopefully you will have time to stand around and sit around and visit with Art a little bit and have some refreshment. So thank you very much.